HellaBass live from the new Phoenix 721 ZXL. Let me know how the audio is. We are, yeah, let me know. Presented by Arsenal Fishing, boosted by Powerhouse Lithium. Literally, we got a boatload of Powerhouse Lithium in the back of the new Phoenix. Let me know how the audio is. I'm trying to run through my earbuds. What's up, Jay? Chat's not quite as big as I'd want it on my phone. Tablet wasn't. So basically, yeah, let me know what the. Can you hear me? Sounds good. Good. All right. So we're just killing two birds, one stone tonight, going live and getting the first hour of break-in in the bird. The new boat. Thought we would chat. And so the first hour of a Yamaha show and just about every new four-stroke is an hour of idling, varying your speed between 500 and 2,000 RPMs. Is Caro not feeling good? What's going on? I was not aware. So we're going to do some graphing, testing out, make sure the pumps are working, because actually tomorrow night we're leaving for a tournament. Spent most of Labor Day weekend getting this thing rigged up. First time checking out the Explorers on the water. What boy, Rich, get your visor on. I was busy. Favorite feature of the new boat? I don't know if I know the favorite feature yet. Oh, 2 clots from your lungs. Well, I guess that's good that it's taken care of, Carol. Notice I'm wearing a hoodie. It's like 60 degrees in Minnesota today. But hopefully the wind noise ain't too bad out here. So we're going to, idle around for 45, 50 minutes, and we'll probably pop it up on Frame and run around a little bit. But I want to make sure I get the hour of idling done before I take off. The varying the speed, up to 4,000 RPM or whatever, we can do that during pre-fishing. The sound is definitely a little different on this. A broken leg? Carol, you gotta take care of yourself. It's kind of breezy out, ain't gonna lie. Make our first waypoint. What's up, Roger? Thanks for joining. The chat is super small on my phone here. Yeah, it does. It does have I do have 5-year warranty. Thanks, Jeremy. What's up, Gramps? Yeah, we definitely got fall vibes today. Starlink, right there. If you can see, I think my giant head is. There's Starlink right there. You can see the Raptors. I went with silver Raptors. So yeah, what did I'll do? Right, so we picked up the boat Monday, the off day for the champion. Yeah, we're on Crystal Lake, Grant. Good eyeballs. Was it the Buck Hill in the background that gave it away? But So we picked it up. It was naked. I had to put the Ultrex on it, had to put a keel guard on it, install the 2D blast-in puck, had that stuff done. I had a ceramic coating put on it, which I really like. It makes, like, I had it done on the Camus, and it makes keeping the boat clean for like the first 2 years like a breeze. So there's a guy blanking on his name, but if anybody wants it, just send me it. If you're in Minnesota area, he does mobile detailing, and you can get a ceramic coating put on your boat. He'll like come to your driveway, your place of work, wherever, and put it on. So I had that stuff all done. And then basically Tuesday, Fish Champs Tour. We'll cover that. That was a disaster. Came home, swapped my tackle from the loader boat at Brian Bason's house, and threw some tackle in it, drove home. Wednesday, I just kind of rested. But then Thursday night, I spent a little bit of time rigging. Friday night, I spent a little time rigging. Saturday, went to the state fair with my kids. Yes, Zach Sanford. That's who did it. North Star Custom. I couldn't think of his name. But yeah, Zach does a great job. He's pretty affordable considering what he does. So if you need his contact info, I highly recommend Zach for ceramic coating and mobile detailing. You can do your truck, your boat, whatever. And so Saturday, went to the state fair. And I think we went over. No, I went some friends over. So I really didn't get much done Saturday. Sunday, I got to spend a good amount of time, and then we went over to the sister's house, did some visiting, played some games, and then finished it up Monday. And I wanted to do this on Monday night, what we're doing right now. But I just ran out of daylight. I pretty much got it done Monday night. Did a few things more cleaning up yesterday, at lunchtime and after work before my daughter's soccer game, which they won 1-0, which is awesome. They played almost the whole second half down a player because somebody got a red card. But, yeah, so we're getting the hour break in right now and chat. But let's see. So I had to put on the Raptors. I had to take out all of the battery trays that came with it and the starting battery and put in all the Powerhouse lithium chargers, took out the Minn Kota charger. So I do have a Minn Kota 4-bank PC charger, brand new. If somebody's in the market, let me know. I'll be giving somebody a good deal on that. So you can slide into my DMs if you want a brand new Minn Kota charger that you've been looking for. I got a brand new starting battery, AGM or lead acid Pro Guide that I'll be giving a good deal on. If anybody needs battery trays, I got those that I pulled out. But we're all decked out with Powerhouse lithium. Yeah, so we're watching side scan. We'll probably run some pumps here and stuff. What else do we do? So we put a Solix, or not a Solix, an Explorer 12 on the console. I went with one 12-inch console. I'm going to go with a little bit. So I had two 10 helixes on the Camus. I went with one 12 Explorer. Then we got a 12-inch Explorer up front with my 12-inch Garmin. So I got the LBS 34, I got the Mega 360, I got that available. That was a new 36-volt Quest Minn Kota, which I'm pretty jacked about. The boat that I used on Green Lake and Spicer had the Quest, and quickly fell in love with the Quest. That thing is awesome. Hope you have fun on Champlain, Mike. That sounds awesome. Where I'm going this weekend is not as good as Champlain, for sure. And then like we wrapped all the cords up there. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got a Sonar Pros trolling motor sleeve up there, made in the USA, kind of wrapping up, cleaning up all the wires. These everybody. All right, bump the button. But so we had to put the Ethernet box in for the Hummingbird Minn Kota system. Remount the black box, the Garmin, all that stuff. And we used the Sonar Pro harness do the wiring, which actually saved me a lot of time. I don't think I would be out on the water right now if I did it and made my own harness like I did in the Camus. Sonar Pros has got that figured out. Like, it was a breeze. So if your time has any value, that Sonar Pros harness is legit. And I'll show more on that in the future. But Trent Palmer has got it figured out. So I'm excited to really, like, too early to tell. But as we get up, do more live scope scanning, I get things set up properly, be able to tell, is it better? Or is it the same as the one I built? Is it better? I don't know. We'll give you an honest review, but from a perspective of clean installation and time savings, all right, yeah, sure, Brian. Yamaha. Yeah. So this is the first time with the SHO. Definitely sounds different. We've got 20 minutes on the motor, Rich G. All right. I mean, it's a great learning tool, Gramps. The scope, people, what they think of. We're going to take a little tour in the back channel here. It came with a Bob's plate, which is quite a bit faster than my old Page Marine plate. I don't know if you can see the Yamaha going up and down back there. But, so that's the first time. So first time with the Yamaha. First time actually being in the 721 is right now. So I'm excited to kind of throw up on plane. Once we finish this, in about 40 minutes, we'll be able to pop it up on plane and go for a spin here. We're going to go in a little back channel. So, we had to mount the grass. We had the Sonar Pros harness, the batteries, get everything spaced out for the pumps for the Raptors. The fun part of drilling holes in the back of your boat with the hydraulic lanes. I've done it now 2 times. I'm getting kind of used to it, but it's always nerve-wracking. Drilling 3/4-inch holes in your brand new bass boat that you haven't even been on the water. I'll be able to change the scenery back here. So yeah, you can ask questions about the boat, right? So basically, it worked out that Brian Bankston at Intune Marine found somebody that was interested in getting a 20. They were trading in an older Ranger. So Brian took that in on trade. He took Maiden in trade, basically did a kind of a pass-through sale to the new owner. Saved us both some money on, tax, right, on the trade-in, which helped, like, basically, we didn't have to get as much for our trade-ins because we were both trading in. He did a great job setting it all up. The only thing that was a little bit of a rush on my end to get ready, Kyle, the new owner, to make sure. But I've already seen him on Instagram. He's out catching bass in the Camus and sturgeon and all kinds of lake trout and stuff. So pretty cool. So, and yeah, like I would, I said this in my video that came out Monday about the new boat, but like if you're interested in any kind of boat, pontoon, fishing boat, bass boat, new, used, you got to trade in, you don't got to trade in, and you're anywhere within a reasonable drive of central Minnesota, Richmond, Minnesota, like I really think it's worth your while to give Brian and the guys at Intune a call. Let them know your situation. Let them know what you have, what you're looking for, whether it's new, whether it's used. They do a great job of just keeping people and making connections, and they make it super easy. Like when I went in to pick up my boat, it took about a few minutes to sign the paperwork, and they take care of all the, I don't know. Like, so just want to make sure they get their flowers. And yeah, let's put the Raptors down. We went with 8-foot silver active anchoring Raptors. Puts the brakes on just like that. Seemed like they're working. They work just fine in the garage. I imagine they'll work just fine in here. So go out in the main lake. We'll finally start testing the pumps here. So even though we're not in studio, tonight's stream still, right, brought to you by the Dream Team. If you're, got objectives to get a new home for a new family, make mama happy, refinance to get some toys, get a different house that's got a better garage so you can get your toys or your boat in there, Like I said, another guy you should give a call. Let him know what you want. See if he can help you. Or you're a first-time owner looking to get a new boat. I don't know. These are people that fish. They're like-minded, and so it costs you nothing to give them a shout and give them a shot. So there's a link down in the description, the video description. So, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, time's flying by. We're already probably 30 minutes into the first hour of break-in here. So that, with the I really was going to go live last Wednesday night, but I was so tired, and with the tournament being on Tuesday, I literally forgot that it was Wednesday. The wind has started ripping since we've been out here. Hopefully it doesn't get too noisy. And I think the wind has switched directions too. Maybe we'll get to the other side of the lake here. But so Champions Tour, it was not good. I'm not going to make excuses. I freaking bombed. I finished third from last. The last time I finished that Maiden tournament was on Green Lake 4 years ago in a TBF TOC. So that lake and I got beef, but I don't blame the lake. I blame myself. Last time I was out there, it was in July. Fish were just finishing up spawning, and I was really chasing. This was like I watched the video not that long ago. I did not have 360. I did not have live scope. It was a 5-fish tournament. This was back 4 years ago. I really thought my best shot was to chase the last bedding, fry guarding smallmouth, fishing that shallow mid-range with like flukes and topwaters and stuff. I got just enough bites to keep me tempted in practice, and that didn't go well. That's an idea. We could do that. Whatnot on the water. I could do that. Not tonight, but I could see that. We're running out of daylight though, but I like that idea. I could do that. I could pull that off. But this year, right? So we learned about this being the championship at Vermilion. So we learned it in June, where it was going to be. To be honest, I was already not that excited about it. And then basically, because I had one good tournament and one not so good tournament, I was kind of on the bubble just inside the cut to make it. So I didn't pre-practice before. I didn't really have time with everything going on. And so it went off limits as soon as I qualified. So no pre-practice. And I knew I pretty much was going to target largemouth and grass, because I knew even if it did get one with smallmouth, that I wasn't going to outscope some of the young guys in this field. So I went in knowing I was going to look for kind of with a plan to look for grass and fish largemouth, and maybe a backup shallow, and look at some of the inlets to see if those were easy fish. And the first spot I stopped on practice on Friday, I got out there pretty early, actually. I got there by like 6:37 in the morning, which is the earliest I've gotten out for a Friday practice on the Champions Tour all season. The first place I scanned, I saw a little patch of grass, shut down, spun around, dropped the trolling motor, the scope, looked over there. You could see some activity. There was a lot of bait in there. You could see some blobs. It's cold here. It's like 60 degrees. It might be high 50s right now. And literally, first or second cast with a finesse jig, I caught a largemouth keeper. And then I threw a Nico rig around and caught two like beautiful smallmouth, like a 4-pounder and a 3.5-pounder. And so I started running these isolated patches of grass, and I was catching fish. And I kind of locked in on that. I also checked the inlet and outlet. Those had fish on it. So I should have gone deeper, though. I should have looked for more grass offshore deeper. I was focusing on this mid-range isolated stuff. While it held quality and some numbers, it wasn't what I needed to hang. And I think with the cold snap we had, those fish were affected more than some of the deeper schools. And at the championship, your boat draw is based on your AOI finish. So I was kind of in the middle. Like I was 23rd out in the first half and 10th out in the second half. So I wasn't going to get on like the easy stuff either half. So I probably should have practiced better for that. I did take most of Saturday off to go watch my daughter's varsity soccer game for her senior year. Don't regret that, but I did give up like 7 hours of practice. That probably would have helped a little bit. But honestly, I might have just doubled down even harder on some of that mid-range stuff. But maybe I would have went out deeper and found some of those figures. I also need to get better at the drop shot. Drop shot in the pink roboworm was a deal out there, and I kind of completely ignored it, to be honest. And that's something I need to get more confidence in, because that is just a thing. It's actually cold enough I'm putting my gloves on. So that's Green Lake. Like, lessons learned, build more confidence in the pink worm for drop shot. Have a better game plan for practicing. Sample more stuff. Be more flexible. Then in the tournament, I should have kept practicing. I kind of went shallow, dock mode, trying to salvage. And I should have kept putting myself in the position to hit a home run. And I didn't do that. I kind of fished safe. That was silly. So, I don't know. But, all in all, it's still a good season. Cashed 2 out of 4 checks. More than broke even on entry fees. Probably broke even with expenses for the season. Requalified, so excited to see what the schedule is for next year. We don't want to be chatting while we're driving. Green Lake, Wisconsin. No, Green Lake in Spicer, Minnesota. I feel like I need to adjust the hot foot when I get home. My legs are a little too long. I need to push this out a little bit. That's one thing we need to do when we get home. And but tomorrow night I leave for Madison, Wisconsin. I got a TBF semifinals on the Madison chain Saturday and Sunday this weekend. I'm only going to get 1 day of practice, so we'll see how that goes. Let's see here. We've got a long con and shoe. So this mount is a little bit shaky. We got to work on our phone mounts for the new boat. Tablet was dead. But otherwise, yeah, we're no, I'm not doing bass heads. I didn't get signed up for that. Plus, it's my daughter's senior season of varsity soccer, and I didn't want to stack my fall up too much. Yeah, Madison chain is going to be tough. The reports are pretty grimy at best right now. But the grinders are sometimes the easiest ones. Grab a little grass line here where I've definitely caught some fish in the past. Kind of digging the physical buttons and the touch combo of the Explorer. Grimy, yeah, like Frank Grimy. It was the hot foot came with this boat. So this boat was a stock boat at Intune. That's what made it possible to do this like seamless, quick trade that the Brian Intune orchestrated. So, but it was basically a boat with a Yamaha and a jack plate and a hot foot and a starting battery. And then I kind of purchased everything else separate and installed it myself. You only can play who's on your schedule, Rich G. You don't apologize for wins. Decent grass out here. If that's spoil or not. I think I already want to make an adjustment to my gimbal mount here and adjust the angle. But I wonder if we can put the light bulb while we're out here. They were open. Let's see here. I don't know how this thing works. Got some water coming in. That's good. We got water. We do got a Yami. Recirculating pump in, all works. Pump out. Pump out's working. So there we go. You can put some fish. No, we're testing the live wells. We got a 5-fish derb. Got to make sure those live wells are pumping. Horn's working. Tested the lights the other day in the garage. Zeroed. Yeah, we're getting our comfort level out. Getting this break in. We're about, I don't know, 15 minutes from popping this bad boy up on plane. Froze? I don't know, am I frozen? Or is it Rich G's internet? It looks like I'm still moving on my screen. It's not warm out though. I do have some rods in the boat. I don't know if I'm going to fish or not. It would be nice to get one bass in the boat before I drive to Wisconsin. We wouldn't want our first bass in our boat to be a Wisconsin bass, would we? Throw the jig. Yeah, we got to make sure we get our hour of break-in before we throw any jigs. I also know what kind of mount I have. I don't know if I'll be live while I fish. Slap a tune on it. Doesn't that void the warrant? I don't know if we're top water. Is not. I don't think so. Like we have a pretty strong cold front. I don't know that it's a top water day. My phone's kind of blocking. Water temp 71.7. We also do need to change my daylight savings on my. While we're where's the system info? No, that's the wrong one. Where is it in here? It's my units, my boat. It's under my boat. Still figuring out my way around this. It's not 7:30. Well, it says we got an hour and 30 minutes of daylight. It gives me sunrise and sunset. I don't know if crankbaits are the answer either. Where in settings? User preferences, maybe. Still learning how to use this thing. Daylight savings off. Now it says 6:36. We back. We graphing. Square bill on Crystal right now is the ticket. You think so, huh? OG Vixen. No heated seats. No. I don't know about oil stuff. I don't have a Dream Pop. No, the Slamus was a brand new boat as well, Dave. This is my second brand new boat. Jerking the bait around. I don't know if I'm not getting jerk bait vibes. Definitely need some fine tuning on the side imaging settings. Yeah, we won't be changing any oil until after the tournament this weekend. But otherwise, right? So Bassmaster yesterday announced they're going to go 50-50, which I don't know. Seems silly. Like, the schedule already had it figured out. Did I set up the electronics the same? I'm not specifically what you're talking about, David. Like, what about the electronics? I don't know. And then they put this fan voting out today, and a lot of people thought they were like voting on what was going to be front facing, what wasn't going to be. I feel like the wind changed again. Yeah, we've got Explorers. I also will be selling some Helix units. So if somebody wants some Gen 4 10-inch, 12-inch Helixes, we'll be selling those too. But yeah, I just don't know. The 50-50 thing, I don't really care for it. We'll see if it works out. I mean, I also will admit, I didn't think the BPT going one period would work, and it did work pretty good. more jig headers here, not jig headers. But so we'll, I mean, we're not gonna know whether this 50/50 works for 6 to 12 months. I kind of like the idea of making a show. Hopefully they're like fully transparent in how they pick it. We're just not taking our word for it. Like you actually see like a coin flip or something. Yeah, the wind definitely changed again. So yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like they're kicking the can down the road. So I don't know. We'll see. It sounds like they're not really listening to the ratings. They're listening to the anglers, and I don't know if the anglers really know what's best for them at this point. But we'll see. I mean, some of the anglers seem pretty pleased with it. Some of them not. Some of them don't care. I mean, I don't think it's going to change the AOI standings much. I still think you're going to see Trey McKinney, Chris Johnston, Patrick Walters at the top. Yeah, they're basically paired up. Basically, the first. What's up, Jeremy? Thank you. Basically, I think the first 8 tournaments are paired up 2 and 2, and they're going to coin flip basically. You know, Gunnersville versus Martin. Tom Bigby versus whatever the 4th tournament is. You're going to get 1 on, 1 off, and then a single coin flip at the end. But I don't know. In the end, I don't think that many people are going to be happy about it. I think more people will still complain. And regardless if it works or not, people will still complain. They'll just complain about something else. Here's HellaBass stage advice. If the people that spend all their time making negative comments about fishing and tournament fishing and everything online and social spent that time actually fishing, A, they would be happier, and B, the world would be a better place. So stop complaining, go fishing. Clay doesn't see anything wrong with it. I don't know. We'll see. I am fully willing to wait and see. I just concerned that like the true anti-scopers will still be mad. A certain amount of the fan base is going to be confused. The people that think their favorite Bassmaster heroes of 10 years ago are also going to be in the contention for AOI and winning tournaments. I don't think any of that's going to happen. So I just don't think anybody's going to be happy. I think but I also kind of thought about BPT and the format they have done and caught lightning in a bottle, and I think it's really working for them. So we'll see. I thought Bassmaster was doing a good enough job with their scheduling last year and this year to basically balance it out that they didn't need to do this. That's my initial thought. We're about 5-10 minutes for putting this bad boy up on plane. Now we can't go wide open yet. We can put her on plane. Yeah. John Cox. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of, I don't know. I mean, guys are still going to fish offshore. It's not like we took away side imaging and avionics and Lake Master. They can still use 360. It's just they're going to be a little less efficient fishing offshore. It's not all of a sudden going to take somebody that's an offshore fisherman and make them a bank beater just because there's no forward-facing sonar for a couple events. bum, bum. Looking, just kind of scan a little juice spot here, see if we can see the hard spot. They like to sit, at least post spawn. They like to get here. There she is, right there. A little. Getting used to this touchscreen. That should give me quite a bit of gas in the boat. Won't need to fill up the gas anytime soon. I mean, they did do a lake test. I know they drove it for a few minutes. And I started, we're probably pretty close. Let's say about 5 minutes, we'll pop this up on plane. Probably going to get a little shaky on the mount, so bear with me on that. The cell phone does not have the stabilization features that the GoPro has. What else do we need to talk about? Is tomorrow I thought tomorrow was the day they're doing their coin flip show, but what is the date? I thought it was the 4th or the 5th or something like that. Clay knows. Bassmaster. I mean, Ben Milliken did not requalify for Bassmaster. He can still get in. I don't know if he will go if he gets in. So obviously in the future we will do once we've actually fished in this boat and we're completely done rigging it. I mean, there's a few more things I want to do. Probably add the Omega step to the front and the bow. I still have a Sonar Pros navigation light to add to the Raptor. I still got to put my running guns in. I'm sure there'll be some other tweaks once I get out fishing it. So, but yeah, I mean, probably another few weeks in a month, kind of end of summer, before we put it away, we'll do kind of like a full proper boat walkthrough, kind of end of season. Anybody else feel like she just wants to eat? Like she just wants to go? Anybody want to hear what? None of you guys can hear this. This is what the Yamaha sounds like when it starts. Much quieter. Doesn't sound nothing like the Mercury. Definitely, you'll take some getting used to on that. Doesn't even do that beep thing where it's like beep. My dog will like that if I ever take him in the boat. He hates the beep. I got Taco Bell for lunch today on the way back from a work visit. So, no, I had some buffalo chicken dip before I came out here. If I'm hungry when I get home, there is some leftover steak taco stuff that my wife did. Yamaha room. Who's ready? And I get a thumbs up in the chat if you guys are ready to put this on plane. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. Maybe we need to get some proper sounding mics out here, but I can't use my good mics with StreamYard. Ah. All right. Apologize if it gets loud. Here on plane. Gotta keep her under 4,000. Hit the like button for the Yamaha. Hopefully my hoodie is doing an okay job of keeping the noise down. Probably not as good as the mics I use for the live streaming, but yeah, I got out of the hole pretty quick. Not loud? I guess my Into the Marine hoodie is nice noise canceling for the earbuds. So we are in phase 2 of breaking into the Yamaha SHO. Basically, the next hour, you're supposed to basically mostly have it up on plane and keep it around, 2,000 to 4,000 RPMs and vary it. I like how she turns and handles. Seems to cut and eat my boat wings just fine. Little different. Like, I feel like this boat wants to cut the wings, whereas the KMS kind of like pushes the wings. Kind of both comfortable in their own way, but they do it in a different way. A little bit different map setup here. I'll have to work on getting my overlays set up on this boat. It also helps not to have a phone. It gets on plane really flat and quick. That's nice. We're going to get up in some shallower water with this bad boy. I promise you that. We're going to be doing some ratting when we go down to La Crosse for the natty. I don't have my, trying to get my overlay for speed. Need to set up a new chart here. See if you guys can. So we want to set up a new view. I want this to be sonar, this to be map. That didn't work. Let's see, sidebar, chart, edit, data overlays. We want, can we move that? preset. Data type. I'm going to have to figure this out. Probably when I get home. Maybe see it now. My phone's kind of blocking it. So we're going about 40 right now. That's at about 3,200 RPM. It should calm down a little bit now. So we can get up to about 45 in the RPM range. We can. Yeah. She still plays pretty good at like 25 miles an hour. You need to go slow and steady. The natural cruising speed is about at 3,000. It's about 35, 36 miles an hour. It's too bad my daughter wasn't tired after her first day of school because she's really good at doing this, like driving around and like she loves it. I just don't know if she's gonna have time to do it because we leave tomorrow night. She's got school tomorrow. But she did a great job breaking in the Murph. Definitely, it feels like she'll be sporty and fun to drive. So is the Cayman, but it's got a different feel. It's a little lighter, a little different feel. The UVs weren't high enough for her, let's be honest. Should we drop the troller? See if we can make something happen here. We got some time to reverse works. All right, I know. We got to see what we can do for a my power block fell out. Yeah, I don't know. So far, so good, Clay. Let's see if we can figure out a way to change this mount. All right. Plastic. So legit. Not gonna find it. I don't know. Doesn't quite have the wide angle of the GoPro. Let's see. I don't know. Look, the rod box is such a mess right now. Try to flip around this free rake. That's handy and on top. Yeah. Maybe reach my doctor here just in case. Play around with that. I should have one spinner pull out. See a drop shot. Place your bets. I want to take this rod finder off too. How's my butt look? Echo work. Won't be able to read the chat, so I'll have my trusty tablet. Justin. Inside turn here. Efficient practice. I got him at that 5 when they went to June, not September. Oh, wants to be the first one to ride in the bird. We do need to do names for the birds. So. Chat, do your best. Right, Rich. Wind tunnel, buddy. Not many places to get out of them. Oh, that is a sad first bass in the Phoenix. Not even a 12-incher. But we caught one. Can we pretend that it's bigger? Free rig. Future trivia. What was the first bass caught on in the Phoenix? Free rig. Striking Rage Bug. Okay, 3/8 ounce Bass Tech. Free rig. Dark quick. Dark. expensive jackhammer. It's fire up the old jammy hammer. Hey, thank you. I'm not gonna really try to adjust. Oh, maybe I can just spin you right. Why did the Wi-Fi disconnect? Wonder if the interesting. We got 5G. Fishing boat docks can be a thing. Get the old jig out. That was Brian's request, right? He wanted to see the jig bass. Go bass on the old Bass Tech jig. Seems like she's a little wobbly. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall in the lake. It does look a little not daylight here. It's dark early. Very scenic sunset here. No charge for that. How would we like to stick on that old post dock up the gate? We can just pretend that other little one never even happened. Called the first renal bath. Early. How bad one here is live. Who is it? Testing the start. The great up. Yeah. One right answer. Tiger. chat. Interesting. Every time I start the motor, it like restarts the internet. We can give you a rundown. Give me a rundown? Who's the rundown for? Fresh out. America. Yeah, this really wasn't supposed to be a fishing trip. It was supposed to be a chat, hanging out trip. Oh, calm down. Glad it fell in the boat. Not out of the boat. Hey guys. This thing is mount is also like getting a little to be like hey guys. Don't fall in the water. Okay. I'm gonna bring you up front. I'm gonna get sky view. Right up the old. Oh, we're in a skirt. You'd be looking right up it. Where's the grass? It's usually right here. Top shot. Wi-Fi's back. To look into why starting that. Interesting. Tappy tap. Sunset Bassin. Rich, he's on fire. I don't have my tablet for reading the chat on my phone. There's some good singers out there. I'm not catching them. Here. Usually a few fish hanging on this inside turn most of the year. Actually, I was thinking about a tablet beside my Explorer on the dash, and using it for like Google Maps and stuff, and then also using it as a streaming device, like having it mounted there all the time. Figure that out. Thanks, burning season. We can't get our first dubs this weekend. Put her right into war, right into battle. We got one day of practice on Friday. The old Madison chain. And then it's game day Saturday, Sunday. Trying to put 5 biggins in the boat both days. It's not hormone. Those of you in Minnesota know. It's blowing in my face. Yeah, you could have a wardrobe malfunction with this angle. It's definitely not warm enough for shorts right now. Definitely bumped it. Well, the camera kept falling down, so if I just not putting it up, it's going to end up in the water. So get the low angle mount for now. We're only going to probably be out here a few more minutes trying to scratch up one last bass before we call it tonight. I'd like to get one that's a little bigger than that one I caught. But we did complete our main objective. Right, we got the first hour of break-in. So we can at least run around the Madison staying 30, 40 miles an hour. We probably got another 10, 15 minutes of that second hour done. So, running around, checking stuff. by lunchtime, worst case, we'll be able to open it up a little bit on Friday, and up to a few minutes at a time, we can go wide open and tournament day. So shouldn't really hinder us on that chain of lakes. The level of braking we have, so that's good. And we checked the live wells and got some stuff kind of set up with some views on the graphs and that kind of stuff. Which is all stuff to get out of the way for race day. She's definitely not going to be 100% dialed in for tournament day, but what? Experience like right before dark stock fishing. Especially this time of year, it starts to get later. I also think it's a really weird slack. Dead grass. Size rod out of the screen. Didn't really seem to react to the motor out there. I don't have any boat names in my mind. That's your guys' job. Rich Master 10,000. Why do I feel you're not talking about a bass cat, little Rich? Pretty dark. Good grass. Maybe have to be the last gas here. Give it till set. We got 2 minutes. 7:55. Then we're gonna head to the access. Here. Fish on. Fish on. Only slightly bigger than the last one. Pink worm to the dome. This one might be a 12-incher. Drop shot. Man. Better not be the omen for the boat, but we caught another one. 2 little guys. $7.54. Can we get one more? We got a last cast. Buzzer beater. Actually, the wind just kind of died down a little bit. It's kind of pleasant right now. He was healthy for his lack of length. His girth was okay. There's a nice little school here. Pink drop shot. Down on the knees, the angle's not so bad. Twilight 1-pounder. Now one more cast. Last cast. For real this time. The real last cast. Unless I catch one, they'll make another cast. Grass had me fooled. All right. That's the end of fishing. Ooh. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap things up. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out tonight. Yeah, Hope you got some tips on breaking in the boat, but we'll give you a little, right? So here's, right, front. From the back, got the Quest, 10-inch Garmin, 12-inch Explorer, 360, all up there. Nice clean 12-inch Explorer on the dash. Keep things simple. We'll do a proper boat tour at some point. From the bow, you can see the Silver Raptors, the Yamaha 250 SHO. Got the Starlink back there. Then you can see all those glorious powerhouses running the show back here. So Raptor pumps, nice and clean back here. The Sonar Pros harness, keeping the wiring at a minimum. So we'll do a proper tour at some point once we get it all dialed in. We got 2 little fish tonight, Bill. But we're signing off. Making some videos this weekend. Probably won't go live in this tournament because we got co-anglers. But all right, as always, we hope you guys catch more bag bass and suck less. Thanks, everybody. Be good. And get out and get some fishing done. We still got time before this year is over.